Welcome back to the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach, and just having a look at the lineup makes me so excited to be at work today. Imaikalani deVault and Jack Robinson taking a look at this one and driving down the line on a beautiful open face, negotiating that first section with speed, and now locking into the power on that first big carve. Ducks into the cover up, and he's gonna come out, digs that rail in on a big wrap back into the power, and a good looking start for the Hawaiian. Goes for the snap layback, and now for the finishing section for Imai, and that is a way to start out a heat here at Bells, a round of 16. Shannon Hughes alongside the 1978 world champion Wayne Rabbit Bartholomew. And Rabbit, what a way for Imai to kick things off. And scores in for this, it's an 8.0, Rabbit.
Yeah, well, Imaikalani has to come from deep here, and that first snap just really lays it into it. Beautiful first snap. It comes around this section. Here's an opportunistic barrel. That's a clean little, just for a second, he was cleanly in that thing. And I was wondering how the judges would react to that. It's so rare to get a barrel at Bells, but on the offshore sometimes you can. And then he finishes it super fun. It just really ties it up here. This clean finish here. He just about loses it and has to, just maintain his balance really. An 8-point ride. What a great start.
And just putting all that pressure on Jack Robinson, as Jack's sitting out the back with priority, and Imai's just dropped in an 8.0. Kaipo, you got to see that from the lineup.
Yeah, Shannon. Look there was a lot of stuff going on even before that wave when we opened the heat. The set came through. Those guys saw the indicator, and Imai was able to get on the other side of Jack Robinson to take possession.
As we've got lines approaching, Imai having a look at this one under priority, and he's gonna make it through that first section and go straight up into the roof on that first big turn. Digs the rail in on the second, connects it smoothly into the third. Such an impressive recovery. And then we saw this from Imaikalani deVault on the first wave in the set.
Yeah, there's the first wave, and he runs out of bowl section pretty quick, but he sticks with it.
Has the look back, and up and riding Jack Robbo out the back into those first couple of turns, gets a little hung up there on that section, and now just using that rail to negotiate. We'll see if he decides to stick this one. We did see Imai decide to kick out early and not wait for that inside section, get to the ski, get out the back again. Jack Robinson gonna take this for all that it's worth through to the inside section. Great snap up into the lip, and connects for a powerful finish with the crowd going wild as he rolls up the sand.
Wow, he rode that wave like a cowboy. And you got to love it that when the exchange is back to back, it's like watching a surf movie.
It's great to see find a few waves like this. As we take another look, what did you love about this?
Well, I love that first turn. He really laid into it. He nearly lost it there. And again here, nearly went over the back of the wave. I mean, he was on the ragged edge of this one. Is it Shannon?
Talk to me about that. Those second two maneuvers, the first one so dynamic, and then just getting caught. Where will the judges bring that into their thoughts?
Well, I mean, he buried the rail. He buried that board. It was just about underwater, and he recovered from it so beautifully. The finish of this is dynamic. So it will be, that's why I said it was like a cowboy. It was like riding a bucking bronco. But this first one is a searing carve down the face of the wave, and he's looking down the line there. He knows that he's behind the section here, and he puts it up there. He goes for the layback. The lip sort of just smacks him in the face. He buries his board, and then it is just a fantastic recovery. Then he goes for the 12 o'clock foam climb and nearly goes over the back of the wave. So another recovery. That is such a good omen for the lower tide Bells today. And it looks like Jack is going to go. No, he's forcing the issue.
So Imai uses priority, takes off on Jack Robinson, goes big on that first big maneuver. He's going to try and find the barrel again. He's just behind the lip. And now placing it again into a really difficult section to negotiate. Throws the fins out, drifts the tail, And now that big carve back with a great section opening up in front of him for the finish. And now to have that confidence to carry through and really just allow himself to have some fun out here and open up, as you said.
Yeah, it wasn't so much that Jack forced him onto this wave. It's like he wanted this wave from the word go. But I love what he does here. This is where he makes the most of these two sections. That was difficult. And then he still gets it up there for a nice snap off the top of the lip. So he really utilised that wave and all the way through, surfing on instinct. And as I said, he's taking every opportunity.
Proudly representing Hawaii, putting on a great performance here at Bells to kick things off. Jack Robinson now answering back out of Margaret River, finding his feet in his very first championship tour event out here at Bells. Getting a couple good carves on the outside section and now lining it up. Finding that speed, finding that flow through a frothy section, and does very well to negotiate that lip line finish.
To show what he's made of.
And then Jack Robinson on the outside.
Yeah, Jack on the outside here. He's really going to town on this one. We know that Imai got the better of the first exchange, the 8 to the 6-5. And this one's looking a bit more even, but wow, both putting on a good show out here. This is awesome.
Incredible performance, and now that we get to take a look at those first two turns from Jack that we missed in live action because we were trailing with Imai, can really see all the work that he got done on this last wave.
Yeah, he's really finishing with a flurry.
Here in Victoria at Bells Beach, and the sun is shining and the crowd is out in force as we see Imai now up and riding, driving around that opening section, took off really deep and now unleashes that first turn up into the lip on the second. Big wrap for the third. And now he's just puts that stall on to regain some speed here through the inside section. He is chasing a 6.07 to get the lead away from Jack Robinson, and he's going to need to do something really good on the inside here to just seal the deal. He goes up into the foam, you know, ride out, get back to the ski, and have a little bit of sand in the wetsuit as well.
Yeah, there's going to be a borderline score because he did some pretty good stuff. He had to race that first section, Shannon. And he's really got to race this section.
Yeah, just nearly got away from him, but then he got up to it.
Yeah, and then this move here, bang, he gets that second turn in. That's a critical one. And then he comes into that flat section, bit of dead water there, but this wave, it's still just got enough power to get him through to the shorey. And just a nice clean finish. You wouldn't say it's one of the more slick moves on the inside, but just a nice clean finisher upper. There's Jack and Imai heading for the shoulder. They'll duck dive this one, and it is a takeoff for
Imai up and riding under priority. Oh, and he kicks out of it. It was such a wide-breaking set, Rabbit. And there we go. Jack Robinson's going to be on it now with 60 seconds on the clock. Imai's going to be out the back. The job for Jack now to increase that requirement on Imai and unleash on one of the best-looking waves out of the Bells Bowl that we've seen all day. So much size. Great section opening up in front of Robinson. And he lays back on the finishing turn. What a performance. The wave selection between those two coming through the back, Rabbit. Jack Robinson definitely taking off on the better of the two, and now the question will lay on Imaikalani deVault. All right, what are your thoughts on this one, Rabbit?
Yeah, it's a pretty solid ride. Those first turns are, just good, solid carving turns. Nothing outrageous, but he rode it well. It moves off the bowl section. He goes into a series of cutbacks. Look at this layback there he does at the end. Oh, yeah. That's a finishing move. Yeah, well, he's paddling for this wave. It's got a little bit of white water on it. It's a smaller wave. It might hit nicely, though. He's going to have a shot.
He's chasing a 6.07. Unleashes a huge tail slide for the first turn. It's a bumpy section to negotiate, and he does so well with that second slice. And now, as this wave stands up on the inside, he's looking for that good finish. Being patient and now squaring off. Ditches the fins, and he's feeling it, but we do have the score to come through from Jack Robinson, which could increase the requirement on Imai. And And then the answer back, a smaller wave, but a good bowling section on the inside.
Yeah, 2 sections here. Bit of progressive surfing there in the hot dog range, and wow, I like that as well. What a great ride by Imai to a clutch surfing. He really needed this. He knew that Jack had a wave. He's going to increase his score. He's going to need more than a 6 for sure. And it's a solid finish on this one as well.
Adds in that bit of variety and progression to each of those turns also. Scores in for Jack Robinson. He's going to hear it at any moment. It's an 8.47 to increase the lead and put the requirement at an 8.05 for last of Imaikalani deVault, as scores are still coming through for Imai.
And it's going to be a respectable score, but whether it gets into the excellent range is just based on, I think, the size of the wave.
What a well-played strategy from Jack Robinson in that final minute to let Imai have the smaller of the set and take off on that second wave.
Well served, both you lads.
And results are in. Jack Robinson with the win. Imaikalani deVault, an incredible performance, one to be proud of, but a knockout in the round of 16.